What if I told you that the average American throws away nearly half of the food they buy? Half. That's 133 billion pounds of food wasted every year. And it's not just about carelessness or wastefulness. There's a lot more going on. In a fascinating talk, a chef, author, an activist peels back the layers of our food system to reveal the hidden forces shaping our choices. From oversized fruits and vegetables to ugly produce, from expiration dates to food desserts, these factors influence what we buy, cook, and ultimately eat. And if we don't understand them, we're likely to keep wasting half of our food, which means we're also wasting half of our resources, energy, water, and money. Today, we're exploring the hidden factors driving our food waste problem. Some are easy to spot, like confusing expiration dates or misleading packaging. But many run deeper, affecting the very way we grow, process, and perceive our food. By uncovering these hidden influences, we can start to make real changes toward a more sustainable future. If you've ever walked through a grocery store, you've likely seen packages of fresh produce marked "Eat by" or "Sell by" certain dates. But how much thought have you given to what those dates mean? Do they indicate when the food actually spoils? Or is it just a random point in time picked by manufacturers? This is where things get complicated. According to Jennifer McCannell, a lawyer specializing in food policy, these dates serve multiple, sometimes conflicting purposes. Take sell-by dates found on the back of dairy products and meat. These are meant for retailers, dictating when stores should remove the item from their shelves. Supermarkets are generally reluctant to break these dates, meaning anything past the sell-by date might be thrown away, even if it's still perfectly safe to eat. Then there's use by and enjoy by dates, often seen on perishable items like bread and pastries. These are estimates of how long the product will taste freshest and provide a buffer for consumers. But what happens when these dates pass? Food manufacturers typically design their products to have a shelf life that extends far beyond these dates. For instance, canned goods can last for years, frozen foods for months, and many dry goods indefinitely. Yet studies show that roughly 40% of consumers throw away food simply because it has passed one of these dates, whether it's spoiled or not. What's worse, this practice contributes to the global food waste crisis. Every year, food losses and waste account for approximately 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption worldwide. This translates to 300 billion metric tons of food lost or wasted annually, which has significant environmental consequences. The production of wasted food uses up valuable resources such as water, energy, land, and labor. Globally, the environmental impacts associated with food loss and waste include 1.4 billion hectares of wasted land and 250 kilometers cubed of wasted water each year. Moreover, food waste in landfills decomposes and releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas. So, why does all this food end up in the trash? One major factor is consumer behavior driven in part by unclear or misleading date labels. Many countries are taking notice in action. France, for example, has banned supermarkets from throwing away unsold food. Instead, stores are required to donate edible surplus food to charities. Other countries are considering similar measures. Meanwhile, some food manufacturers are voluntarily providing clearer, more precise expiration and sell-by dates. Have you ever noticed how unevenly ripe the avocados in a package seem? Or how oddly shaped carrots appear alongside other conventionally shaped ones in the produce section? These images are not just random. They reflect deliberate practices within the food industry. As Don Barber, an award-winning chef and author, explains, the food we find in supermarkets is often the result of intentional breeding and processing. For example, the modern avocado has been selectively bred for its size, texture, and taste. But perhaps more importantly, it's been modified to stay hard during transportation and ripening after purchase. This means the avocado doesn't ripen evenly because it's been intentionally slowed down. Similarly, the carrots have been narrowed and straightened over generations, making them easier to process, package, and display. But the story doesn't end there. Once these foods are on our plates, they often don't look or taste the way nature intended. That's partly because of the conditions they're grown in. Industrial agriculture relies on monocultures, large fields planted with a single crop. These fields are optimized for yield and efficiency, not necessarily flavor. Monocultures also use intensive farming methods and pesticides. While these practices may increase production, they can negatively impact the nutritional content and taste of food. The carrot of today might be bigger and easier to store than the wild carrots of the past, but it's arguably less flavorful. But how do these altered foods affect us? Barber points out that changes in taste and texture might not be immediately obvious to consumers, but they shape our perceptions over time. For instance, our tolerance for bitterness has decreased, likely due to selective breeding in crops like broccoli and kale. Over time, this has made vegetables taste milder, softer, and more uniform. But this uniformity can come at a cost. Uniform foods tend to lack the diversity of flavors and textures that make meals interesting. It's like listening to a song with only one instrument playing. The result can be a feeling of sameness and blandness. So what can we do about it? Many are advocating for a return to heirloom varieties, crops preserved for their unique qualities rather than just their productivity. Farmers markets and online sellers offer a chance to try unusual tastes and rediscover the diversity of food. But shifting consumer preferences will take time and education. We must be willing to experiment and understand that imperfect, unevenly ripe food is not just okay, it's often better. Have you ever been to a grocery store and struggled to find fresh, affordable produce? Or maybe you've noticed that some neighborhoods have plenty of supermarkets while others have almost none. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. Across the United States, millions face challenges in accessing nutritious food. These areas are known as food deserts. The reasons for their existence are complex, weaving together economic, social, and geographical factors. Food deserts often emerge in low-income communities where residents might not have reliable transportation to reach grocery stores, without access to affordable, healthy options nearby. Residents become dependent on convenience stores and fast food outlets, contributing to health issues and higher medical costs. It's a cycle that perpetuates poverty and poor health. Even in areas where fresh food is available, affordability can be a major issue. Low-income households might prioritize other expenses, forcing tough choices about where limited funds get spent. This is where food banks and assistance programs play a crucial role, stepping in to fill the gaps when people struggle to afford basic nutrition. But why do these deserts exist? A big part of the answer lies in where supermarkets choose to locate their stores. Generally, supermarkets want to be in affluent areas where there's a high likelihood of turning a profit. This leads to a situation where wealthier neighborhoods have better access to nutritious food, while lower-income communities bear the brunt of food deserts. Addressing this problem requires multifaceted solutions. Better urban planning that includes grocery stores in all neighborhoods, increased access to affordable transportation, and policies that encourage supermarkets to serve low-income communities are all essential steps. Additionally, supporting community-based solutions like farmers markets and urban gardens can help bridge the gap until larger systemic changes are made. So the next time you visit a supermarket, take a moment to consider the journey your food has taken to get there. Did it travel halfway around the world? Was it grown on a monoculture farm? Does the expiration date make sense? By understanding the hidden influences that shape our food, we can make informed choices and demand a better system. Each of the stories shared in this video reveals a facet of a complex web of factors influencing what we eat. From misleading expiration dates to the challenges of accessing fresh food, these issues affect us all. As consumers, we have the power to drive change. By understanding the hidden forces at play, we can make conscious choices that support a more sustainable and equitable food system. Whether it's being aware of confusing expiration dates, demanding more diverse and flavorful foods, or advocating for better access to fresh produce, every choice we make counts. Change won't happen overnight, but as consumers, we can collectively influence the food landscape. Our choices today will shape the food system of tomorrow. Let's ensure it's one that nourishes both people and planet.